Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to episode 6 of Movies with Steve on the Last Podcast You'd Want show, here on YouTube. Thank you for coming and checking it out once again. Today, I bring 5 movies for you from my personal collection, a little bit of a theme. You'll get the theme once you start seeing the movies, but let's jump right into it. We're going to start with a movie that I particularly like. It came out in 1995. It's got Jeremy London, it's got Jason Lee, it's got Shannon Doherty. It is the second film in what I call, and what everyone calls, the Skewniversary. The Skewniverse. Mallrats. Mallrats is great. I absolutely love it. It's a tale of two friends, Brody Bruce and T.S. Quint, both who are actually named of characters from Jaws, Brody and T.S. If you didn't know it, now you know. The third character in Jaws, Hooper, who is the man that hunts... No, that's Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss is Hooper. And that character is actually in Chasing Amy, Hooper X. But in this, you have T.S. Quint and you have Brody Bruce, two friends that equally get broken up with by their girlfriends, and they spend their day at the mall. Why? Because they're mall rats. I absolutely love this film. If you haven't seen it, it's a great comedy. It's also got Joey Lauren Adams. It's got Ethan Suplee. It's got Michael Rooker. You would know him as Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was also Meryl in The Walking Dead. He plays a really mean father who's protective over his daughter. Mallrats, I absolutely love it. Yeah, Mallrats. Brody Bruce. T.S. Quint. Where's T.S.? There he is, right there. T.S. Quint. I love this film. If you haven't seen it, I definitely say check it out. It's a great movie. That leads us on to our next one, 2003. This film wasn't exactly a hit in the theater, but it was much better than the sequel that was made. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Gardner, Daredevil, based off of the Marvel comic Daredevil. I actually like this movie. A lot of people shit on this movie. A lot of people say that just because it bombed in the theater, it doesn't make it a good film. But just because a movie doesn't do well in the theater doesn't mean that it's not a good movie. I really like Daredevil. Jon Favreau is in this as Froggy. He later goes on to be Happy in the Iron Man series. Michael Clark Duncan plays Kingpin. And it's great. You have, what's his name? Colin Farrell as Bullseye, the assassin. And that's a real interesting, because it's one of the few roles that Colin Farrell has actually been able to play where he doesn't have to put on an accent. He uses his natural Irish accent since he is from Ireland, and that's where Bullseye, I believe, is from. It's kind of silly. He's got a bullseye on his actual forehead, which is not what he had in the comic. He had a little cap that he put on that had the bullseye, but that's neither here nor there. Bullseye, I really like it. I think it's a well-done film. Yeah. 2003. I don't know if I mentioned the year. 2003. Bullseye. It was followed up with a sequel, if you want to call it that, of Elektra, and Elektra was not a good movie. Moving on to my next pick. My next pick came out in 1999. This is a movie that got, it didn't get panned, but it definitely got talked about by the critics. It definitely got talked about by the religious community. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, oh man, there's such a cast. Chris Rock, Selma Hayek, George Carlin, Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Alanis Morissette, Alan Rickman, Dogma. Dogma's great. Dogma's a view of Loki, and I'm not going to lie, I forget who Ben Affleck plays. Matt Damon plays Loki, and they're basically two fallen angels that have been banished to Earth. And there's a shit monster, Linda Florentino. I think that's how you say her name. She's the main chick from Men in Black. She's in this as well. She's actually the main character. Bethany. Jeanine Garofalo has a brief cameo. Huge cast. Long film. Lots of talking. But this is a good one. I like this one. Dogma. And it's funny, I can't read you anything. It literally just looks like a book. There's one side, then there's the other side. And then on the inside, there's just nothing. Look, it's not even that. It's movie. What is inside? I've never even looked at this. Disc 1. Eggamuffin. Oh, wow. I don't even know if this is Dogma. The Light of the World. This is so weird. I don't know if I've ever actually opened up this box before. My buddy gave me their copy of Dogma. I I saw this several times in the theater. There's a fun story that you can go online and find of Kevin Smith actually talking about how he went to the theater to boycott this film because he heard there was going to be a protest, and he got on the news protesting his own movie. Dogma. It's a funny one. 2007 is what we're jumping ahead to next. 2007. We're talking a film. Bruce Willis, Justin Long, Timothy Olyphant, Live Free or Die Hard. This isn't the one that takes place in Russia. This is the one that takes place in America. I want to say this is number 4. This is the one that comes after Die Hard with a Vengeance. Let's see here. Locked Up and Loaded with real stunts, genuine humor, and non-stop excitement. Genuine humor. Do you have to say if it's genuine humor? I know Bruce Willis is a very hard actor to work with. I've heard multiple stories. Kevin Smith has talked about it in Cop Out, how Bruce just wanted to do his own thing. I don't know. Let's see. In the latest installment, pulse-pounding, thrill-a-minute, die-hard action film, New York City detective John McClane delivers old-school justice to a new breed of terrorists when a massive computer attack on the U.S. infrastructure threatens to shut down the entire country over Independence Day weekend. No mention of Justin Long, that he's the hacker that McClane works with. That's rude. I bet you Bruce Willis had something to do with that. What a jerk. Live Free or Die Hard. I saw it in the theaters. It's got good action. I'm a big Timothy Olyphant fan. He plays a great bad guy. All the way from Scream 2, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Scream 2, spoiler alert. All the way to Live Free or Die Hard, there's no twist in it. He's obviously the bad guy. There's no trying to figure out who it is. Lots of good action. There's a scene with, I'm not going to say. You just watch it. If you haven't seen it, why not? Watch all the Die Hard films. It's a great series. All of them. Even the one in Russia. What is that one? A Good Day to Die Hard? I think that's one. I hear they're making another one, Die Hard 24/7. Hopefully the last in the series. My last film, 2001. I jump around in the series, in the dates. I could have just gone chronological and gone 93, 94, 95, 96, whatever. Jumping around. Ben Affleck, Shannon Elizabeth, Will Ferrell, Jason Lee, Jason Mewes, Chris Rock, Kevin Smith. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Fun one with this one. I haven't done this in a bit, but this one's signed by Brian Johnson and Walt Flanagan. Brian Johnson plays Steve Dave, and Walt Flanagan is always the guy that says, "Tell him, Steve Dave." They're in all the Kevin Smith films. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is great, packed with stars including Ben Affleck, Shannon Elizabeth, Chris Rock, Jason Lee, and more. The wildly irrelevant comedy, or irreverent comedy, is actor/director Kevin Smith's hilarious finale to the adventures of Jay and Silent Bob. That's really funny because it's not the finale. To Jay and Silent Bob, where was I? That began with Clerks, ran through Mallrats, chasing Amy and Dogma, when best buddies Jay and Silent Bob discover that a major motion picture is being based on their likeness. They head to Hollywood to claim the big movie money that they deserve. But when the Dobie duo learn that they've been cut out of the cash, they set out to sabotage the flick at all costs, featuring a host of celebrity cameos set to a hot hit soundtrack. Jay and Silent Bob, they run across the country in a trip and a crash course in the rules of the road with a non-stop assortment of outrageous characters that will have you laughing out loud. You know what, folks? It will have you laughing out loud. Last Thursday, when I wanted to post this video, I went to the theaters. I caught a double feature, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And what did they follow it with? Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. That brings me to my theme. What does my theme have in common? Mallrats, Daredevil, Dogma, Live Free or Die Hard, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. They all star Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is in every single one of these movies. He plays a lab assistant in Daredevil. He plays a computer hacker in Live Free or Die Hard. Not to mention the fact that he plays Silent Bob in all 3 other movies. I love Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith has been such a great source of humor, of entertainment for me in my teenage years to my adulthood. I love Kevin Smith. That's what this whole video has been about. 1995, 2003, 1999, 2007, 2001. Ladies and gentlemen, these have been my films for the day. Kevin Smith hits. Kevin Smith misses. Kevin Smith hits. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last podcast you want YouTube show. My name is Steve. Thank you for joining me today on episode 6. I cannot wait for episode 7. And until next time, tip the veal, try the staff. I'll see you then.